we got these little symbols that are in between this next section on them. What do these little symbols mean? What is the upside down U?
I was going to tell you if it's like included in it, like if they're together.
Yeah, this one is an and. And I remember because it looks like the N in the word and. And so an and, remember when we graph it, we're only going to graph the overlap. Okay, so it's only what they have in common together. And this is our union symbol. And the union, I think of like the United States. Either you live in Texas or you live in another state, right? So the union there is our or statement, which means it's going to make the first one true or it can make the second one true. So when we go to graph that, we would graph everything. So what makes the first one true or what makes the second one true could be our answer. So we graph everything for each of them. All right, so let's try number 4. So number 4 has our and, right? So we're only going to graph where they overlap. So anytime it's an and, I do my little graphs above and below for the 2 that it gives me. And then on my number line, I actually put my final answer. So like for this first one, it says negative infinity to 6. So I'm going to put negative infinity, positive infinity. I'm going to go ahead and put 6 on here. And then above it, I know that it's negative infinity to 6, so I would shade in between the negative infinity and the 6. And I can see the 6 is going to have a parenthesis. We're good with that? It's just like above, right? All I did was that first one. And then for the second one, it says from 2 to 9. So here's my 2. Here's my 9. And it says I would shade from 2 to 9. 9 has a parenthesis. 2 has a bracket. Alright, then remember this is an and. We're only going to graph where they overlap. So where do those 2 graphs that I just drew above and below, where do they overlap? Yeah, right there between 2 and 6. And so that's going to be my actual solution. I can see the 2 from the bottom has a bracket, so I'm going to put a bracket. And the 6 is from up top, it has a parenthesis, so put a parenthesis there. And so then how would I write my solution in interval notation? Well, it's right there, isn't it? From 2 to 6, 2 has a bracket, 6 has a parenthesis. So we said from 2 to 6, 2 had a bracket, 6 had a parenthesis. So that would be our interval notation. And how would I write this in set builder notation? Set builder bracket, or set bracket, excuse me, x such that, yes, 2 to 6, and 2, it's equal to the 2, right? And then close your set bracket. And so we graphed it, and we wrote our answer in interval notation for the top one, and set builder for the bottom. Alright, so let's try 5. Now this is a union symbol, so what does that mean? That's the or. We're just going to graph all of it. Whatever's graphed will be our answer. So I'm just going to do this one on the number line. So it told me, well, let me do my negative infinities and positive infinity. And I see my first one is a 6. It's the same one as above, isn't it? Yeah, that just dawned on me. So we've got that. We see 6 has a parenthesis. Then we see it's from 2 to 9. Two at a bracket, 9 at a parenthesis. So what is actually shaded on this one? The negative infinity all the way to 9, and 9 has a parenthesis, right? So you just said it was negative infinity to 9. 9 had a parenthesis. Infinities always have parentheses. And then my set builder notation would be x such that, I know one of them's going to be infinity, so I'm going to just put my x. Is it getting less than or greater than the 9? It's getting less than the 9. Remember, if you need to, do this piece down here, okay? And then we know we mark out the infinity, so we know that this part is what would go up there. And so there's our interval notation and our set builder notation.